So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the course design. We're going to be talking a lot about design throughout this course. And so I want us to think about this particular learning environment and how I've designed it, just so that we can kind of think about and help support you all as you try and navigate. These courses can tend to go really quickly, and I just want to be as clear as possible about expectations and understanding so that you know what you need to be able to do at as close to all times as possible. And so the way that this course is done is that it's broken up into a couple of different modules. But in the very beginning, I have an intro section that is our first beginning of how do we build community. So in the course introduction section, I have a kind of an overarching welcome to STEM, community-based STEM education leadership course, STME 7010, where you are right now. And within that, there's a couple of learning environments that I want you to explore. The very first one is just kind of a set up your profile picture here in Canvas and talk a little bit about it, again, so we can get to know each other. I have a video introduction where I'm going to have you maybe answer some questions about some learning environments that you've been interested in or that have been designed really well. I have a little quiz. I say that very lightly. There's no correct answers. It's just kind of a way for you to be able to look at your feedback, the way that you like to receive and give feedback. And also, are there any partners that you'd like to work with as we dive throughout this course? Because it's going to be engaging in community here. And then I have a quick course introduction discussion where we're going to be thinking about design thinking in STEM ed. And so that's our first module, and that's going to be due on the first day when the course opens up. And then from there, I've broken up the course into several different modules where we're going to be thinking about the course. And you'll see within each of those modules, you're either going to have discussions or assignments due. And so for the discussions, they're all roughly going to look the same. They're going to have a getting started video where I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of what you're about to do in this learning experience and why I think it's important and why we're going to be doing it. I'm going to have a read the following section where you're going to have, any of the required readings. We're going to be using hypothesis as a way to annotate some of those readings. So each time you have a discussion, there will be probably one opportunity where you're going to do some social annotation with the group to be able to kind of again, continue to build community, but also think in a different format. I'll often have a reading focus, so some things to think about while you're doing the reading that you'll be engaging with later on. Often I'll have some multimedia. I don't want you to just be thinking about articles that you'll be reading, but there'll be some videos, podcasts. With some of these cases, I'll try to build a couple of different views and experiences for whatever we're talking about. There'll be some sections where I'm going to ask you to make connections. So it might be making connections to, if it's a STEM focused discussion, it might be making connections to leadership, or if it's a leadership discussion back to STEM. Or it might be making connections to the projects that you're going to be doing throughout the course. I might have a go further, which might have some suggestive readings if you want to dive a little bit further into it. And then there'll be kind of the post 2 section where I'll say, this is where I want you to discuss. Or in the group video chats, which we're going to have as well, and I'm going to talk about here in a minute. What are some of the prompts that I want you to respond to in discussion forum writing, or in the group video chats, things that you can have as a prompt to be able to have discussion. And I also want you to think about in the group discussions, sometimes discussions go a bit of a different path. My prompts that I have are suggestions. If you feel that there are other things that you want to engage with throughout this conversation that connect to what we're talking about, or if you feel like your group needs to go in a different direction, that's totally fine. I just want to get it, and I want to be able to capture what you're talking about. And so the discussions are generally going to take a look like that. And then we're going to have a couple of assignments throughout as well that are either going to be leading up to the major projects in this course or the major projects themselves. And as always, if you have any questions or need more clarity, please just send me an email, and I'd love to be able to help and support.